Hi, this is Wendy Lee, and I'm excited to be your guest here today on Splitcoaststampers. I'm going to share this center step gift card holder tutorial with you, and I hope that you really enjoy it. The supplies we're going to be needing to create our project today is a trimmer, some cardstock, some strong adhesive, and a bone folder. I'll be using supplies from Stampin' Up. So we're going to start with a piece of 8.5 by 5.5 gray granite cardstock and a piece of 4" by 5¼ Whisper white cardstock. That's going to create our card base. I'm going to decorate the card with a few additional supplies. So I've got a 3½ by 3¼ Night of Navy cardstock, 3¼ by 3, 3/4 by 5 designer paper, and this is from the Twinkle Twinkle designer paper pack. I've got 2 pieces of 3" by 3/4" designer paper and 1 piece of 3/4 by 5¼ designer paper. These are also from the Twinkle Twinkle designer paper pack. And then there's a scrap of Whisper white that we are going to stamp and then punch out. I've also pre-cut some little pieces to use as elements on the front of the project using the Stitch Labels framelits dies. Okay. And then we're going to add one final embellishment touch with a little bit of ribbon and some adhesive backed sequins. The stamp we're going to be using today is the Little Elephant Stamp Set by Stampin' Up! And the Coordinating Elephant Builder Punch. Let's get started. All right, we are going to start with our gray granite cardstock. And we're going to slide it in our paper trimmer at the 1" mark on the long side. You're going to take your cutting blade and place it at the 1" mark and slide it up to the 5¼ mark. So you'll have a line right there. I like to flip my cardstock over because it's easier to measure, and I'm going to slide it again at the 1" mark. I'm going to repeat the cut I just did from 1" to 5¼ inch. Okay? So now we're going to turn our cardstock, rotate it the other direction, head backwards, sorry. We're going to slide that at the 1" mark, and now we're going to score. I like to move my cutting blade way out of the way so that I do not accidentally cut where I want to score. So we're going to score on these outer channels between the cut line and the outer edge on both sides. So I'm going to do my first score line at 1". I'm going to do that on both sides. And I'm going to rotate my cardstock around so I can use the 2" mark here. And I'm going to repeat this on both sides. Then I'm going to slide this down to the 5¼ mark. I'm going to do my last score line. So I'm lifting this as I rotate my blade down from side to side. I'm not sure what your trimmer is like, but that helps me just score where I need it. I've got one more score line to make, and so I'm going to connect these 2 cut lines with this center score. So I'm going to score right between those 2 cut lines. So between the 1" and the 4½ at 4¼ So I'm 4¼ from the edge, and I just scored between those 2 lines. Okay, now we're going to fold this. So the way this one works is you're going to push these back and this down, and that should line up. I'm going to use my bone folder to give it a nice good crease on each of these fold lines. And I'm going to open that up and kind of get under there too. All right, so now we have our card base. Stands up really nicely. All right, so for the inside of our card, we've got our pocket. So we're going to create that by sliding our Whisper white cardstock in at the 1" mark, and we're going to score there. Okay, and put the paper trimmer away. We don't need that again today. And then I'm going to just fold this up on that score line, and again give it a nice good crease. To complete the pocket, I'm going to use some strong adhesive. I like the tear tape. You can use the red line tape, anything that's a little stronger than your regular tape runner. Okay, those pieces there. Make sure they're nice and secure and remove the paper backing. Well, maybe. Sometimes it's easier than other times. All right, so I've got my nice pocket where I can slide my gift card right down inside there. And so this is going to adhere on the inside of our project. I'm going to go ahead and do some stamping, and then we can decorate our project and finish it off. All right, we're pulling in our scrap of paper, and I'm going to use gray granite ink and stamp our elephants. I like to check it, make sure I've got ink all over my image. Just stamp that right down. And then I'll do the same thing with the small elephant. Cute! Don't you love this? I love the little plaid lines in the elephant bodies. Just makes them cute. And then I like to use my punch upside down. So I'll just slide this right in so that I can see what I'm doing. And then just give that a squeeze. And then get my little guy out there too. There we go. So I've got my elephant pieces. All right, the other stamping I'm going to do is I'm going to add a sentiment to the inside of my pocket, as well as this little piece on the front. I'm going to use Night of Navy ink. I'm going to slide that over. I'm going to put the Hello Little One on this little piece here. Hopefully I'm somewhat straight. Yay. Sometimes that works, sometimes that does not work so well. And we'll put our sentiment on the inside here as well. Cute, 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 cute. All right, now we're ready to start putting it together. So on my card front, I'm going to go ahead and flatten this out because I find it a little bit easier to adhere my pieces. Oops, looks like I forgot my tape runner, so let me grab that real quick. All right, so I'm going to take my designer papers, and I'm going to go ahead and adhere these pieces right onto the card base. Put a little adhesive there. And so that's going to just slide right between those score lines. Repeat on the other side. Perfect. And then a strip along the bottom. Great. All right. And then that'll just fold up like this so that decorates our sides real nice. So then on our Night of Navy, we're going to go ahead and adhere this piece of designer paper. Okay, and we will adhere this lovely label we've cut out. Great. And then for this next piece here, I'm actually going to go ahead and slide my ribbon up through this hole and pull that over. So I'm going to go ahead and secure this down to the card base with some dimensional dots. So some double stick foam tape works great for this. So I'm going to go ahead and put that in place so it holds it. And then now when I go to tie my bow, I'm just going to wrap this around and tie a bow at the end. I love that I can loop that right into the end of that project there. That little element. I think it's super cute. All right, so I've got my bow right here on the end. There we go. And I'm just going to clip away the pieces here with some snips. All right, cute, right? All right, and then we will put on this little element here. We're going to also pop that up with some dimensional dots. I really like a lot of layers in my project, so I tend to go maybe a little overboard. But I love all the little detail, and I think it makes it so special. All right, so let's get this onto the front of our project. Put some foam dots on the sides. Remove those backings. Do you ever have trouble getting these backings off? Oh, some days. Difficult. All right, so I'm going to place that right there on the center of the front. Let's finish them off by adding one of our punched out elephants. I'm going to use the larger one on the outside. All right, let's bring a little bling. Gotta have a little bling. So these adhesive sequins are just great. So I'm just gonna put a few out here. Isn't that fun? With a little sparkle. Okay, so for the inside pocket, let's go ahead and decorate that. So I've got my pocket and then my strip of designer paper. We'll go ahead and put that down just on the front of there. Real simple, but just adds a nice piece of the element of the design to the inside. And then we're going to add our little small elephant as well. Oops, I don't want to pop him up. I think that that will be a little bit too much height if I do that on the inside. So we'll just lay him right there. Okay, so now this is ready to adhere to the inside of our card. Go ahead and put some adhesive on that and get that right down there. All right, great. How fun, right? So you can see that I also made a girl version. So I just switched the navy cardstock into petal pink and then changed out the ribbon to make it a little bit more feminine. But two really, really cute options. This is so versatile. You can make this for birthdays, graduations, anytime that you need to give somebody a little gift card just to tell them hello or whatever. So super cute, right? Thank you guys for joining me. I hope that you loved this tutorial today. I appreciate you stopping in.